I swear, I was kind of worried I was gonna get like a frostbite in my feet. I don't know why. I thought my feet.
I think everyone's toes were feeling
You
it.
put hand warmers in your feet.
Yeah, no. Before that though, that's why I put hand warmers in my feet, and even after that, it just.
Bro, we're back again. We're back. Another podcast. Liam would say, welcome back podcast, but Mr. Liam is not welcome back.
Such a stupid name for a podcast. Welcome back to the Welcome Back podcast. That's how Liam would say it, you know? Like, come on, Liam. Give your head a shake. The guy's not here today because he's sick, apparently. But yes, welcome back to the 90th Minute Podcast. You know, I'm not going to call it the Welcome Back. Anyways, we're back. We were busy recently. If you've seen it throughout our socials and YouTube and everything, we enjoyed World Cup qualifiers for the first time in our lives. They were in our city, Edmonton, Alberta. And before we delve into the matches and whatnot, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and thank you to everyone who's listening on audio apps. We much appreciate you. We are your hosts. I am Woz. This is Greg.
Hello, how's it going? Thank you for having me. I don't know.
And Lucas.
Yo, what's up? That's me calling out Liam at the beginning.
That's beautiful. So, yeah, if you're new to the podcast, welcome. And let's kind of dive right into it.
No Matt, no Brett, no Liam today.
Yeah, the energetic folk are... They're not really energetic. They're chaos.
They're just loud.
I would say
Loud.
so. Yeah.
We bring the energy.
Well, kind of.
Well, I think when we're together, we're good.
Yeah, we bounce off well each other. They're chaos.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much. Simmer it down.
Anyways.
Nah, don't. It's actually enjoyable.
Simmer it down.
Yeah.
Don't talk
Anyways,
like that.
okay, Greg, relax. But yeah, let's talk about. We're gonna start off with football. Obviously, I think it's gonna be more of a football-oriented podcast. You know, sometimes we delve into other topics, but today we're gonna talk about the World Cup qualifiers that just happened.
As you did mention, Canada.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Played Costa Rica and Mexico. Crazy.
How do we sum up that experience? Honestly, it's
Historic?
yeah, historic, especially the
Wild.
Mexico game. I think I was definitely more excited for that Mexico game than the Costa Rica game, just because it's Mexico. It's such a historic national team. It's one of the most infamous in, of course, North America, but also just in world football history.
Yeah.
Everybody knows of Mexico. So let's start off maybe. Do we have memories of the Costa Rica game, or is that did they get flooded by the Mexico game?
Oh, no. I still have memories of the Costa Rica game for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Because you know why?
Yeah,
Because it was warm.
that's
it
true.
wasn't warm.
Well, it wasn't warm, but it was
warm.
So yeah, let's talk about our experience in that sense. So for those that don't know, we do have some vlogs of the matches on our YouTube channel, the main 90th minute. We got Costa Rica and Mexico if you want to check this out. But yeah, it wasn't warm for us. That's for sure.
Yeah, the first game in Costa, well, not in Costa. I wish we were in Costa
Yeah.
Rica for those matches, but the first match against Costa Rica was like, -1-ish.
Yeah, around there.
No snow at that point. It was
No.
fine. We still had to dress warm. We came pretty early to the game because we thought we were gonna try, try to interview some people, get their thoughts. And there wasn't that many people there before 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, we just went in line and got the vaccination checked and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But going into the game or into the stadium, when it started crowding more and more people, you don't necessarily see Commonwealth Stadium, the stadium where the game was at, have so many people in the stadium.
No.
Like it wasn't filled out to the brink, but
It's never been though.
Well, for the
you
Costa
know?
Rica game, there was 49,000 people there.
Yeah.
And usually, what would you say for an Elks game? How many people goes there? Which is our football team, our American football team. or
Probably
Canadian
at the
football team.
moment lower than 10,000, at max 20,000 during
Yeah,
the
so
season.
Way less than half.
It also doesn't help that the Edmonton Elks are
Third,
complete
like-
crap. So
Yeah,
nobody. Yeah.
that's what's crazy, and there still was a lot more seats to be there. Of course, there were a lot more tickets sold, but people don't end up going. Of course, that happens. But it is crazy that many Canadians go there, and it was awesome. It was awesome to see, and people might say, "Oh, not the best atmosphere and all that," but honestly, for Canadians, I think it's a great atmosphere.
To be fair, the Elks actually do decent. They get like 20,000.
Oh.
First game of the season, they got 32,000. Or no, 30,000.
Yeah. So basically on average, it was less than
But
half though of
Yeah.
that game though.
So yeah, the Costa Rica game in Edmonton had around 49,000. Mexico one had 44,000. To be fair, the Mexico game,
It blizzarded
it was near
day of.
-16 temperatures by essentially kickoff.
Yeah.
They said online that they sold 50,000 tickets, but I think what happened was that there was a lot of maybe supporters who couldn't make it because of supporters from Calgary who couldn't make it because of poor road conditions because of the snowstorm we kind of had prior to the match. Also, probably supporters from British Columbia who couldn't make it because they're right now going through some bad environment, like mud. What's going on there?
There's like a bunch of mudslides that are pretty much blocking off every major highway from Alberta to BC.
So I'm assuming, they essentially sold tickets to those kind of areas pretty early on. And
but also, I'm sure with travel, but it's also just a lot of people probably just didn't want to go.
Yeah, it was cold as well.
I don't blame people.
Yeah, it was cold. It was really cold.
As we mentioned in our vlog and everything, it was one of the coldest matches in history.
I think it's probably top 2, top 3, if not the coldest match ever recorded in history.
I know I read somewhere Leverkusen played a Russian team one year was
that 2010? Like did I mention in that video?
It was a different article, but it might have been from 2010 as well.
Yeah.
But it was like minus 15, and our game it was like I read reports at kickoff it was minus 14 at kickoff with the wind chill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it got colder as the game got on. But yeah, it was. The Costa Rica game was a good experience. It wasn't a great match of football at all.
No, the Mexico game was definitely a lot better in terms of just action as well. The Costa Rica game was a little dull, but it was fun to watch the players live, like Jonathan Davies for the first time, his homecoming essentially.
It's not something that we're getting.
No, it's a rarity to watch games like that, and also Tajon Buchanan was not fun to watch. Estacio. There's a lot of good Canadian players that we had the privilege to watch, and unfortunately, I didn't really know any of the Costa Ricans. So
yeah, Costa Rica's going through they're way past their golden generation that made the World Cup quarterfinals in 2014. Like Brian Ruiz, good old Fulham boy, way past it. Keylor Navas was injured, and with that goalkeeper that played, he made a mistake that was costly. There's several players that are just that were great back then are just not there anymore or just past it, and just a new generation of Costa Ricans at the moment aren't matching that level.
Well, in that first match, it was just good to see Jonathan David actually get onto the score sheet because he was kind of struggling within the octagon, right, in these qualifiers. But yeah, the Costa Rica game, it was more so the experience, which was probably the more exciting part. Seeing Alphonso Davies for the first time live, his homecoming because he's from our city, Edmonton, Alberta. Just all of that as well, and just watching a World Cup qualifier live in our city. That's I never thought I'd actually see something like that in our city.
And sorry to cut you off, but to not mention how massive a win it was. Like it was it was a very needed win, especially going into the Mexico game where we weren't sure what that outcome was going to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like when we were leaving the seats, like there was a bunch of cheering going on, a lot of people going nuts. When you guys left, I was still with Matt and his girlfriend. Matt went to go inside find someone, and he ended up going to the bathroom. But there's people by us. They're playing the drums, going nuts, and it was great.
Yeah.
I wish I recorded that, but yeah, it was really awesome. And of course, there was also some guys who ran onto the field.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's. I actually wanted to touch up on that because at first when you watch it, because if you guys didn't see, there were streakers that ran on the pitch. Obviously,
quite a few.
When you watch a game live, they kind of pan the camera away from those people. You guys,
they used to show it. They did.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They would accidentally show it. I don't think it, but you guys said
now it's like. But what I mean is like you would see it at first. Now it's just like instantly it's just gone.
It wasn't. It was crazy because you said on the Brendan Dunlop's podcast, the Footy Prime podcast, which Brett and Lucas are on. Definitely go check that out. You said there was 4, right? How many did you see?
There was definitely 3.
There was 7.
There were 7?
There was 7.
Yeah, there was more that we didn't see.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they just get caught before they got on?
I don't know. Maybe
one went to. I know one went to like Fonzie. One went to Herman. One did the corner flag.
Yeah,
one
so
got tackled
essentially, I think there was 3 originally, and maybe there was a couple after the match.
Oh, after
once the final whistle was blown, people started running up again. So you had one guy who got absolutely
he got hit hard.
He got tackled right into the advertising board and probably shot it at a rib. Let's be honest.
That went viral.
Yeah, that one did. There was one kid who ended up running onto the pitch, grabbing the flag and making it back.
He ran across the pitch with the flag, ran back, put it back down. Security chased him. He jumps back into the stands, and I mean,
and then
Borjan was just like, get out of here, like, because it was at the end of the game, of course.
And then there was that third kid who was dressed in like all white, like he seemed like your typical Real Madrid fanboy. He was in love with Alphonso Davies, like that's why he was running onto the pitch like Davies, because he recorded it too and put it on TikTok.
Yeah,
and he's like, Davies, where's Alphonso? I love Alphonso. I'm like, what the? This guy's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know what goes through people's minds in situations like that. Like,
yeah,
to me, it's crazy how people can be so obsessed over a human being like that.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I can understand people like adoring someone and having them as heroes and things like that. But like being like running up to them in like a space like that is like looks really weird to me and kind of creepy and kind of insane.
100%. And in that moment I saw the TikTok and John Herdman kind of brought him over and said, it's okay lad, we'll get you covered, whatever, we'll get you out of here, like we got to get this going. He was very classy about it. He didn't really yell at the kid. He just kind of let's just move on and kind of tried getting him tried helping security as easy as
that's the thing, they just wanted, like I was saying with Borjan as well, he was just trying to get them off, so
exactly.
They could finish the game was about to end, they were about to win. I forget why.
Well, there was an injury.
There
was like an injury or something, and then all of a sudden these people started running. They found a perfect timing. And of course, like I said, in the moment, it's hilarious to look at it. But when the matches are, it's so stupid. It's like, not only was it the security's fault, but also these people kind of painted not so great picture of Edmonton as a host city for a potential World Cup. Like, I want to make a TikTok. When people are streakers, they're running the pitch. They're kind of like, basically, FIFA's there trying to decide if Edmonton should be a World Cup city or a host city, and they're like, oh, these streakers are an issue, we don't want to give you the city.
Luckily the FIFA officials weren't there that day.
They weren't there.
No, yeah, thankfully. And apparently they enjoyed their visit. They liked what they saw. I read apparently the only thing the FIFA official said, the only thing that Edmonton is missing really is grass.
Yeah,
like we liked everything, is just unique grass for the World Cup.
And that was for the Mexico game.
Yeah, they were there for the Mexico game, and which I 100% agree. I know a lot of comments of people who weren't who are not from Edmonton are saying, "Oh, the pitch is garbage, the turf." Like, I'll agree, it is garbage.
It was.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm not surprised with the quality of the pitch. I wish it was better, but that's just also a thing in Canada in general, especially. Like, there's a couple cities that have turf like that.
Yeah. I mean, like Vancouver and Toronto are like good because the weather isn't as bad there, and they can afford like undersoil heating, like
Oh, I've never heard about undersoil heating.
Undersoil, is it undersoil? It's heating like underground during the winter, so the grass can maintain its good whatever after the winter's done, and so they can play on in like March, April. But it's a good experience. And then going to the Mexico game, of course, we had to dress extra warm.
That was wild.
Woz was dressed like the Pillsbury boy.
Essentially, the Canadian Pillsbury boy. So that's very accurate.
And like Woz, we were in separate lines, but like you said, you were in the same line as last time. I go try to find you.
Oh yeah,
and like there's no one there. It's just I see just people there. So I go in the other line, and I look across. I see you in line. I'm like, where did you come from?
I don't know. I got moved around a little bit, shuffled, I guess, with security and everything at the time. And
security kind of dropped the ball in the beginning because they're allowing us to get our vaccine passports checked.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, no, you guys have to wait. You guys have to wait.
I remember that. So that's what kind of annoyed me about the Mexico game.
I didn't know about that. So what happened with that? Sorry.
Yeah, so basically, like, we went lined up to the gates. They checked a couple of our passports. I was like one of the first in line because I cheesed my way through. But like they get through, and then we're about to start walking to the gates where they would check the tickets. Some people already walked there, and the security had to push everyone back because they weren't ready, and they weren't ready until like 5:30.
No,
so when was
100%.
This that they did this?
This was at like 5.
Okay, so because like
actually this was like 4:55.
I would say so.
I want to say ours didn't start doing like our vaccination passports till like 5:10 or so, and then we just had to like stand right outside the gates, basically, right outside where you do it for like you said, like 20 minutes or so.
Well, essentially, like I was kind of like Lucas, one of the first people to get my vaccine thing checked, and basically I checked my passport, they checked my QR code, and they're like, okay, step back, just go by the table, back up. I'm like, okay, and then eventually they led us through to go to the gate, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm so excited. The gate doesn't open till like 5:30, 5:35.
When it was supposed to be open at 5.
Yeah,
so
it says, they said, oh yeah, our gates will be open at 5, and it just, that's what kind of annoyed me. I felt like there was a little bit of lack of organization, especially for an event of this magnitude. I felt like they could have been prepared a little bit earlier, security, everything in general. Like, it felt like they were kind of doing everything last minute, in which I don't understand, but I obviously don't know all the information, right? So
Yeah.
And it was cold, so everyone.
that's the
wanted to
thing.
just
That
get
was the
out of
annoying part. It was just cold, right? If it was a day like, a June summer, it'd be fine. It'd be fine. But no, like, yeah, like I feel like they should have put that into like, oh, people are gonna be chilly, this and that.
And
but,
then go inside, get our food or get whatever or meet up. I got some food. By the time I got up to our seats, the cheese on my burger was not melted.
Yeah, it's
it was rough. Yeah. The pizza was good, but yeah, when I finally got in, I was very tempted to go in line and buy an Alphonso Davies kit, but at the same time, the kits in the store costed 175 Canadian. I'm sorry, I've never spent that much for a kit. The last time I think I spent nearly as much for a kit like that was Euro 2016 when I bought a Robert Lewandowski kit from the UEFA website, but then again, I had to get that shipped from Europe, I'm pretty sure, or somewhere.
So actually, when I went to Vancouver and to watch the Whitecaps, I was buying a friend a Cavallini jersey or a kit, and it was probably like $230 or something. Like
it's ridiculous
crazy.
how expensive football kits are.
For one, with that, Vancouver. 2, it was their first game home game back with fans. So
like football
that
kits,
was definitely just overpriced, but.
Football kits in Canada are so overly priced. I know it's expensive everywhere, it feels.
Yeah, but they mark it up even higher at the stadiums. Like when we went to the Galaxy game in LA a couple years ago, like we went to look at a jersey. I think only Liam bought a jersey.
I did.
You bought a jersey too?
I bought one, but with no kit on the back. No name on the back.
I was thinking about it, but then I see the price. I'm like, not buying anything here. We'll piss off.
Yeah,
personally, I didn't mind that purchase. I think it was justified because I do wear it a lot. It's probably one of my favorite kits to own. It fits well. It's a nice color. So
I'm not someone who really likes to wear football kits. So
yeah,
but like stuff in there is just so expensive, and
like scarves are $50, shirts are $40. I'm like, oh my god.
I understand people have to make them,
like,
but like they obviously over.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And personally, for me, I don't think a football kit should be nearly the same price as a hockey jersey. Like hockey jerseys can be around 200, 250, and it's like, no, this is not it.
I mean, hockey jerseys are overpriced.
Yeah, but they're also much bigger and have a lot more material to them
Yeah.
compared to a football jersey, I believe. So
Yeah.
but let's talk about maybe more so the Mexico match. A lot more excitement. Obviously, the players, they need a little bit of time to adjust to conditions, especially the Mexican players, it seems. Overall, I thought it was an exciting game.
Yeah.
I didn't think Mexico played bad either.
The Mexico were crap until like the 80th, 70th, 80th minute.
Me too. They were just not in that game, and maybe it's because they didn't really have the proper training session.
I thought they did well on the wings, but maybe that's about it.
I felt like for the most part, like the defense, they had to take Henry off because I guess they didn't feel like he was doing a good enough job.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
and he was on the yellow. They just weren't risking that, I think.
But like Miller, I thought he was incredible.
Yeah,
he was just like. Anyone trying to get past him, no, get out of here. It was like he was having a fantastic performance.
And Alistair Johnson.
Yeah, Alistair Johnson. I don't know.
I mean, he got like it's not an assist, but it was basically an assist, right? For his a good interception and a good decent job, which Ochoa probably should have done better, but
he didn't. Kyle Larin got on the end of it, and we went
exactly.
nuts.
It was right before halftime, so it was good time to score.
Something this Canadian national team really proved to me within these qualifiers is that they don't necessarily have to rely on Alphonso Davies. You know, they're getting scoring from Kyle Larin and from Jonathan David. They're getting chances created from Estacio. It's not just a lot of people from the outside think it's the Alphonso Davies show that he carries his national team.
And Panama, definitely. Like that game, Alfonso was amazing. Honestly, these two games, thought Alfonso wasn't the best.
No,
thought he was pretty bad. Honestly,
for
Alfonso's stature.
I thought he was at times it seemed like Alphonso Davies was a little show off too much because it's home crowd, you know, he just want to have some fun.
He's very young.
He was a speed demon though, regardless. He nothing really slowed him down. His touch was phenomenal, especially on a pitch like that, and I don't know.
Nothing to take away from that. I'm saying from Alfonso.
Yeah, and it's just
you just have high expectations with a guy who's proven who playing at one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah,
but like I was saying, a lot of people expect like Alfonso to carry Canada, but more so what I'm seeing is more of a team effort. They're hardworking, tactically they're pretty sound. I would say Team Canada. So that's something a lot of people don't know, that John Herdman and his coaching staff, they've done a very good job with Team Canada, with the Canadian team.
Yeah, so good. Like this Canadian team is like, based on how they play, like probably the best in CONCACAF, because Mexico has been dreadful through the qualifiers. Like they've won some games, but teams are starting to figure them out. Like they lost to the US before this. The USA have been really hot or cold. Like I think they've been good in the home games, but at the away games they've really struggled for the most part. Like they did come back against Honduras at one point, but like a draw to Jamaica. Now I remember Liam, he was like talking crap when Canada drew Jamaica. USA did too.
Yeah, so, Jamaica's starting to find another gear in their game, which is
they got
good.
their players. They got their big
their
big boys.
Antonio scored, so
an amazing goal.
But yeah, in the game in general, yeah, I like Canada. I think as Herdman was making more and more subs, I think we're starting to lose control of the game, and when Mexico finally scored that first goal to make it 2-1.
Yeah, then they're all over us. That I was stressed.
Yeah.
I thought we blew it. And we basically did, but Borjan
was huge in that game.
Goal line say like I thought it was a goal. I was like, it's a goal right there, and it was just it somehow just ball goes back out. And I was like, holy shit!
I think my buddy, he mentioned something about Borjan, that Borjan had a slight advantage over both keepers in these two matches, because Borjan plays Red Star, where they're very cold conditions and they play on like maybe similar turf, so he understands how the ball kind of bounces and skids on the ball on the turf, unlike maybe Ochoa, who doesn't play in such cold temperatures. So Borjan just kind of understood how the game was going to play, and he can kind of predict on how the ball is going to move, which is, you don't think about those kind of things.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then I know we were debating with these games, like, why is Borjan playing? Why is Crepo not playing? Who's been really good for Canada? So,
but I mean, I like Borjan though.
No, I like both keepers, and it's good to see.
Borjan was good. Like I know the previous qualifying matches, Crepo, he did play those two because Borjan was injured, but Borjan has always been Canada's starter.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's a good one too. Like Crepo won Vancouver Whitecaps Player of the Season. They're going to the playoffs. I mean, that should be interesting to see what happens with them. But yeah, Borjan, great. He kept a clean sheet against Liverpool once. So
yeah, I think with Canada, of course, you have your star names in Alphonso Davies and Jonathan Day, but the supporting cast is just, they've done their job of being those support roles, like Richard Larea, Estacio, Atiba Hutchinson had a good game against Mexico. I thought he made some good tackles. You mentioned Alistair Johnson. They all just played well. As simple as that.
Sam.
Why do you say his last name? Sam.
It's like
Adekube?
Yeah.
Anyway, like I was just saying, everyone just played well in general, and that's all you can ask from your national team. Not everyone has to be a star player. They just need to show up and work hard.
Your shift, like
exactly.
Like Portugal's team in Euro 2016, while they did have the stars on the team, they had players that weren't like stars at that moment. Were actually like average players to maybe above average players in leagues, and they performed what they needed to do and helped Portugal win the Euros.
Especially these past years as well. You think of Italy, they have some marquee names, but at the same time, no one really predicted them to maybe win it. Some people did, but they didn't really expect Italy to perform at that level.
Well, and if we're quickly talking about Euros and the European World Cup qualifiers, of course, because we're just talking about Italy and Portugal.
That's great.
Before we do, let's just mention that Canada undefeated after 8 games.
It's awesome.
So
6 games left.
In CONCACAF, Canada, undefeated.
4 wins, 4 draws.
4 wins, 4 draws. I don't know how many matches are remaining. Like 6. Also, they're now ranked 40th in FIFA rankings. I think they're the highest. I think we equaled our record now.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome job.
Canada's top 40 nation. Mexico, because their results have dropped out of the top 10, and
so
they're going to miss out on pot 1 of the World Cup most likely.
They're upset about that. I'm sure.
The last couple things I want to mention about before we go to European qualifiers about the Canada game was kind of the. I swear I was kind of worried I was going to get like a frostbite in my feet. I don't know why. I thought my feet.
I think everyone's toes were feeling
you
it.
put hand warmers in your feet.
Yeah, no. Before that though, that's why I put hand warmers in my feet, and even after that, it just. I don't know. It's hard to. It was just my feet that were the worst part.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean,
it usually is.
Mine didn't recover till like 30 minutes after I got home.
Yeah, but
that was kind of weird. You were like in the LRT. You were just like, oh yeah, my feet still hurt. I was like,
yeah, because I was up there for a handful of hours. You guys went down at halftime and warmed yourselves up.
Why didn't you do that?
Because I didn't want to.
Yeah. Which is, anyways,
bad.
I was gonna mention right after the match, I went down to go meet up with my buddies in the lower bowl, and I was able to see Alfonso up close, and that was kind of special to see him with his like niece or nephew walking around the pitch waving to everybody. And my friend James is like, get out of the way, Alfonso's parents are coming down. I'm like, how was I supposed to know that? And then eventually Alfonso comes back with his nephew or niece or whatever. He comes into the stands actually with the kid. I don't know what else to say. And he's giving back to his mother, and it was just crazy to see people start rushing him. They see him and like, Alfonso. They're trying to so he's taking selfies with people, signing stuff, and it's like I'm kind of walking slower to him, but at the same time it's like, Jesus, people need to chill. Like I would love to get a selfie with Alfonso, but at the same time I want him to just kind of like live.
He's a human being.
Yeah, exactly.
Likes his privacy still as much as he likes doing it for the fans. It's always for the fans.
Yeah. So. But anyways, let's get to European qualifiers.
Yeah, I mean, we won't touch on this too long because it's going to be pretty much outdated when this podcast comes out.
But Italy and Portugal are the big names that are not.
So annoying.
They are not automatically. They're not going to the World Cup yet. Not yet.
Bro, I'm so
but they're
annoyed.
in the playoffs for it. And like Lucas is upset because Poland has a chance at playing those teams. So yeah. Fine.
Yeah, the draw is next Friday, I believe.
That'd be a decent stream to do if it's at a right time.
Can I be honest? If Poland don't make the World Cup, I won't even be mad because Canada has a high chance of making it. So for me, it's like, yes, I actually have a team that's chance. Canada probably
could. Canada, Poland, and Scotland all be in the same group?
Technically, yeah. I don't know.
That'd be tough.
No.
No, because one of those teams would have to be a first place seed team, and I don't imagine any of them being one.
I think Canada would be a pot 4 team, but I think both Poland and Scotland would be pot 3. Maybe Scotland would be pot 4.
Someone was saying that there's a chance that Canada could become a pot 3 team if the right results go their way, or depending on where they end up.
If they win the octagon, like what?
Yeah,
could they?
It's all based on rankings on FIFA. That's what
I know, but like, could they jump up those rankings like crazy if they won the octagon?
I mean, maybe they could get into like the 20s, but that's just me guessing.
Yeah, and also Canada's next game is against the US, January 30th, I think.
Yeah, how's that gonna work? Like, are there just certain players not going to be able to go to those?
What do you mean?
Because it's literally during league season. Do they have an international break during that time, or?
That's the next international break. Oh yeah,
in Europe, or?
Well, they probably have friendlies during then, right?
Okay,
right. That's usually what happens.
Because I did not know there was supposed to be an international break in the beginning of next year, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go.
Yeah, that's actually a good point you make, but I don't know.
But the playoff draw, of course, pot 1, Portugal. Winners in 2016.
Well, before you do all the playoffs, you want to just say the 10 teams that went through that are already going to the World Cup?
Yes, the 10 teams going to the World Cup include but do include teams such as Netherlands.
Yeah.
Serbia. Serbia qualifies first place.
Mitrovic put Ronaldo into the playoffs. God, I love to see it. It was great.
Yes, I was watching that game actually, and Portugal, they had a 1-0 lead, and they just defended and let Serbia get the ball more and more.
Because they brought on Mitrovic. He didn't start the game. Yeah,
no, but like it was so. I know a lot of Portuguese fans are so pissed at Fernando Santos, and deservedly so. What is your game plan with this?
Yeah, Portugal should be the fact that they did not win that group.
What's with all these
Crazy
coaches that have such high reputations becoming frauds? Like him, he's like on the brink of not getting Portugal qualified. There was Lou, who pretty much destroyed his reputation after winning the World Cup in 2014.
Yeah.
Maybe not destroyed, but like it's definitely not as good. And like just recently, Tabarez. I probably shouldn't have said Tabarez. Probably Tabarez, but the Uruguay coach or former Uruguay coach, as he got sacked after being the coach for 15 years, led Uruguay to the semifinals in 2010, and has been a disaster pretty much since 2016 outside of the 2018 World Cup.
Yeah.
It's weird. I feel that certain coaches tend to have an expiration date, kind of, just like footballers. You know, eventually you peak.
Happen, but
I do feel like international coaches, that is definitely true. Like, I feel like international coaches, if you stay too long, I think there's certain players that just grow tired, and maybe you need to have a different vision with the national team.
And you know, certain coaches also maybe rely on a certain group of players that work better with their system.
Yeah.
Right?
And maybe they rely on them too much, and maybe they get a little too comfortable because they know they won't
complacent.
get dropped.
Yeah.
Anyways, you want to actually just list out the all 10 teams?
So Serbia for first place. Congratulations after missing the Euros. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Spain, after Sweden bottled it against Georgia and then lost to Spain.
Yeah.
That Spain go through. Switzerland, incredible.
Yeah, it's
last match day they were both tied, Switzerland and Italy. Italy couldn't defeat Northern Ireland. Ireland defended for their lives.
Italy blew it. The European
Come on, Northern Ireland.
And Switzerland were like, Bulgaria, get out. We're going to the World Cup.
When you say come on, Northern Ireland, but yeah,
they're out.
they're not.
They finished third.
Yeah, they're not going.
Paddy McNair couldn't care that team.
Group D, France won their group pretty easily by 6 points. Ukraine did get second. Group E, Belgium, pretty easily. Piss off Belgium for tying Wales though.
Yep.
Group F, Denmark, they were incredible. Won nearly every single game until they played Scotland in the last.
Gotta
match.
give respect to Scotland for beating Denmark and actually doing good in the group.
Scotland 23 points in their group. That's more than a bunch of
So
teams.
is Scotland get first in their group?
No,
second.
Denmark won the group.
They got 23 points,
Good
which was
for them.
just as many as Netherlands. But Netherlands automatically qualify, and Scotland don't.
Could you imagine Poland versus Scotland?
It could happen.
It could happen.
We'll get into that in a second. But
There will be a battle.
I
wouldn't be
has
mad.
to be a watch.
I don't think either of us would be mad if both of us eliminate, because Canada's doing so well. Like, Canada's kind of like that protection barrier for us.
Canada hasn't made it yet either.
I know, but
Netherlands, they got through. Croatia got through after Russia scored an own goal in their last matchup between each other.
Yeah.
England go through. Poland gets second in that group, and they lost to Hungary on the last match day. Put Poland in pot 2 in the playoffs.
I'm not surprised.
And then Germany, actually, after the poor start, actually dominated their group and finished first. So that means for the playoff, pot 1, we have, I believe it is, let me just get it. Portugal for sure. UEFA 2022 World Cup qualifying.
Either way, it's gonna be insane because it's a different way of how they're doing it, and honestly, I don't mind how it's interesting.
It's exciting.
Yeah, they also included to these teams in the pots the Nations League, two top Nation League winners.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that included Austria and Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's get the second round here. So, pot 1, the seeded teams: Portugal, Scotland, Italy, Russia, Sweden, Wales.
Oh! Before we quit, one more thing. Let's not forget, there is an 11th team already in the World Cup. It is Qatar.
Oh yeah.
Well, and there's also Brazil.
Yeah, and Argentina, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Maybe Iran. I don't know if they officially qualified, but
yeah,
they're doing pretty well.
I know we were mostly talking about UEFA, but yeah.
Yes. But yeah, those were the seed teams I just mentioned. Scotland getting seed 1, lucky.
Deserved, honestly.
Pot 2 though: Turkey, Poland, North Macedonia, Ukraine, Austria, and Czech Republic. So pot 1 plays a team against pot 2. There's 3 paths. So there's 2 matches. So in like path A, then path B, then path C.
Yeah.
And so the winners of each of those matches in those paths play each other. So let's say,
and the winner of that goes to the World Cup.
yeah. So let's say Portugal drew Ukraine, and on the other side, Italy drew North Macedonia, and Italy and Portugal win those games. They
Yeah.
play
That
each
means
other.
would miss either Italy in the World Cup again or Portugal, which would be crazy.
That's wild. Imagine winning the Euros, you missed a World Cup. Ooh, yikes.
Miss the World Cup to winning the Euros to missing the World Cup.
Then again, would
What?
you?
I don't think we'd back Italy to lose.
Yeah, it depends how the draw is gonna go, and
Yeah.
It's tough, yeah.
I'm really concerned for Poland because there's a pretty good chance you're gonna probably play Portugal or Italy. I think Poland can put a good game against everyone else, but there's no guaranteed
Yeah.
wins.
I want Poland, Scotland. As much as I want both of them to make the World Cup, it would just be so funny. We'd have to do a watch along for that, and I would just be right in the middle here, and then there'd just be you two would be here, I'm there,
Right
and then
couch.
we got Liam just there. It's just
For audio listeners, Woz and I on couch right,
Yeah.
Greg middle on the right side of left couch, and
And
Liam on
then-
the outside.
and then when Che Adams scores in the 90th minute to win the game, and Poland loses, it would be very funny.
Just shut up, man.
Yeah,
Whatever. Okay.
let's move on.
Yeah. Just screw you.
This ruined my day.
This ruined my evening as we're recording this.
Yeah, like piss off, man.
You haven't even matched
Go eat
against.
some snow.
That's rude.
But is that is that all we have to cover? European any qualifiers?
there's-
Anything else?
I
we
mean,
should
for
mention?
the qualifying, that's pretty much everything.
Until the draw comes up, there's not much more.
Question:
to-
Is that Italy Argentina matchup happening? Confederate the I don't know.
I can check.
I know some people are kind of against that idea. I think it's exciting, but that's just like
I
me.
think the people are only against it because they're considering playing it in, I think, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, of course, yeah.
That's
no.
the big reason. And really, it should be played in Napoli Stadium.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be perfect. But unfortunately, everything somehow has to end up in Saudi Arabia nowadays.
Yeah, let me.
So-
Okay, first one it says Super Cup, all details. Oh, it's basically the Copa America winner versus the Euro Cup winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. Let's see. What does it say here? Anything?
Anything big?
No venue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Schedule date. So, due to situation, may take some time for this match to be held, but it should be held before the 2022 Qatar World Cup.
Sometime next year for sure, if anything.
The match could be held. Oh wait. Okay, this is a bad article.
It's
Regardless,
that's why I kind of wish we still had the Confederations Cup because it would allow it like Qatar to test their facilities prior. I don't know. I thought it was a cool tournament. So it was kind of useless at the same time. But yeah.
Like there's an article in July that says it would be played at the Napoli Stadium, but I did remember hearing something it being in a different
Essentially, there's nothing
stadium.
official yet about that.
it would be cool, but it's also like
Yeah, from CNN, Barcelona and Boca Juniors to okay. Sorry, I was thinking of a different match. There's a Maradona tribute match.
Oh, that's cool.
But that's supposed to be played in Saudi Arabia between Barcelona and Boca Juniors.
interesting.
But like the Italy Argentina match, yeah, that's like a Super Cup type game.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like a official Maradona match, but they would consider putting Maradona's name as a.
Yeah, I think they would do something. It's right.
Makes sense.
It's
Argentina, Italy.
it's the Barcelona Boca Juniors game that people were getting mad about.
Fair enough, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, like I was gonna move. So one of my topics tonight, I don't know, probably I was gonna move into is I wanted to talk about FIFA, the game in general, FIFA 22, how we've been feeling about it, because you know us three, honestly, we've played it for a pretty long time compared to Liam, Brett. I mean, I know Matt's played for a while, but you know, I want to get Greg's thoughts because you're quite good at this series, at the video game.
Yeah.
You went 20-0 and basically lost like any drive to play the game.
Yeah.
What would you say is
Well, I
your
got busy.
yeah?
But why did you lose the drive?
Other
Other than busyness.
Parts of it was I found out that Xbox is not doing any FGS this year.
any esports, right?
Any
Yeah.
esports. It's all on PlayStation. I was actually playing good. I was kind of interested to see if I could do it. And I find out that they're not Xbox not doing any of it, and I just kind of dropped. And I just stopped playing. I haven't played since.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you're 20-0, of course you kind of want to go to the next level if you can.
Well, and then, like, because you have to qualify through rivals, so elite
Oh.
division rivals, and you have to be
This-
like in the top, like I think it's like something top 200 in your region. I was getting pretty close, and I don't know, it's frustrating.
For me,
but-
I'm in a weird. I have a very love-hate relationship with FIFA, but FIFA 22 in general, just maybe it's just kind of like I'm adjusting to the new formats of qualifying for like FUT champs. I don't like the playoffs. Like I like the you get the 2,000 points to qualify for FUT champs, but now you have to do this playoff. Like I kind of miss like Brandon Smith, who we once had on the 9th minute a while back. He made a TikTok. So I kind of miss like the gold 2 gang. Going gold 1, gold 2, or gold 2, gold 1. It's like. It's just it's different. It feels like it lacks something.
It's definitely different. They made it more FUT champs is the casual game mode, and and rivals is the more competitive mode. That's basically how it is.
My issue with FIFA in general recently is just I don't like how hyper competitive the game has gotten, and that's with video games in general. But
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean, because literally in this FIFA, like what you're talking about, everyone has just a sweaty team or a very good team. All like just everyone has that now. I remember, God, I do miss FIFA 13 where you just using silver cards all the time. FIFA 12, you're using silver cards, using bronze cards. It was just fun playing the Gold Cup, playing with friends, having a good time. I know exactly what you mean.
And then, like, I kind of, the FIFA 13 days where I could have fun with a team that had, like, Seydou Doumbia, Esvine. I didn't need, like, icons and Neymar and Messi and the best informs. I could have regular gold cards that just have pace, and I enjoyed the game. Did I still get pissed off at the game? Yes, because every FIFA has its issues. But it felt more enjoyable. It felt more like a video game.
Yeah.
Well, now it's like, there's so much on the line, and it's like,
everything's competitive to make you angry, basically. Yeah.
I kind of more so realized how hyper competitive FIFA is when recently, like a month ago, I was playing a game of FIFA. It was Rivals or something, and this guy messages me at halftime, leave, because he's up 3-0. Can you please rage quit? You're not going to win. I'm like, why do you got to be toxic, bro? Like, I've had games where I've been down 3-0 half and came back, and unfortunately the guy was just, toxic that way, and like, jeez, it sucks. It does sound like I'm crying.
No,
but
no, I know what you mean. It's just how people are. People it's humans that get upset, and it's everyone's talk. Lots of people are toxic.
Yeah,
Not
I mean, we
everyone's
know
toxic, but there's
toxicity. We've played Call of Duty and all these shooters that have a lot worse things than them. I have a pretty thick skin. I'm just making it known, like FIFA Ultimate Team, like
and like you said, it's not just FIFA, it's video games in general.
Yeah, there's
and
so much
the
money in
community, like the generations growing up now. It's a lot worse.
oh yeah, it's so much more money in esports. Kids see that and they're like, oh, I can make a career out of this. I can make money off this, right? Like, Lucas, give us your thoughts on.
I mean, yeah, I think I used to play FIFA a lot until like FIFA 17 when they introduced FUT champs. I started playing less and less. Like every year I used to play for like at least 2 months. But then like recent FIFAs I stopped playing like the week of the release. This one I actually played quite a bit in the beginning. I was actually enjoying it because I was able to use players and like have a good time. I was still in the lower divisions, but yeah, I was still having a good time. But then I just stopped playing. No reason really. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have any grievances against the game. I guess time wise, because I am a bit busy with stuff, so I just decided not to play. And
yeah.
But with the esports things, yeah, I generally don't like playing competitive FIFA because I get really angry when I get competitive.
It brings out the worst in people, especially if
And
you're losing.
after I think the turning point was when I smashed the controller on the ground after getting so angry, and it just smashed into like
Wow.
20 pieces. And it literally, I
Jeez.
smashed it on the ground, bounced off the ground, hit my wall, left a mark on the wall. A couple days later, my mom sees the mark and gets pissed off at me and like deserves like, so I smashed.
Yeah. It's,
So that's kind of like, man, I can't play the super competitive games if this is gonna happen.
Exactly. And it's just I feel like FIFA when it pisses you off, it brings out a
Oh.
different kind of rage compared to any other
100%.
video game. I can play Call of Duty and get mad at the game. I just leave, whatever. I cool down. I don't
FIFA
get as
is a
mad.
if FIFA's a
FIFA
different
just
story.
it turns me into this fucking evil maniac, and like there's been moments where I've wanted to message people in mid games like, oh, if you came up to me in real life, you'd be up in the hospital and stuff. I wanted to message people very ill things, but of course I didn't, because I don't want to get banned and this and that. And I'm like, I just want.
Well, you've always had that, even like in like FIFA 12, FIFA 13. I remember you being raging at someone and you said, and you're like, oh, you wanted to message them saying, I'd beat you in real life football.
Or no, more so, I'm more so, yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to take out you skillers or whatever. I wouldn't be afraid to put in a tackle and this and that. Or I bet you wouldn't do that in real life. It's like, it's just, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. I mean, still, I've been playing some career mode, but mostly with the 90th
Career
minute.
mode's chill.
Like, you still get angry at it.
Jeez,
Because
I get more angry at career mode right now than I do Ultimate
recently,
Team.
yeah, especially with playing Legendary.
I don't know, computers this year are just
But-
crazy.
But yeah, like competitives, like I never had any interest in like Call of Duties and things like that. Like
That's fine.
but like those got more and more competitive as the games got on. Like I remember you guys playing those competitive game modes.
Yeah.
Like Fortnite, I had no care for the world for that game. I'm not really a shooter fan, so I mean, I play FIFA because I like the sport, and it's probably the best version of the game that I like to play. Of course, there's Football Manager, which is more realistic, but you don't really play
you
the
don't
game.
play the game. You kind of just.
And then there's
watch,
PES,
nice
which
at
is
times.
but then there's Mario Strikers,
Well-
which would be, please make a new one, Nintendo.
Yeah. One thing with FIFA Ultimate Team that I've noticed has disappeared is that kind of little grind at the beginning, where you kind of go from like a little bronze team to silver team to gold team. Sometimes it's not like that, but you know,
It's like what I was saying. Everyone just it was this year especially. They made it too easy to get coins. They made packs
100%.
too easy to get. They made those preview packs, so then it lowers the market. There's just players that would
I
have
get
been
it.
at least 100K that are probably like 25K.
Like,
right
I
now.
rem-
And it's too. Basically, the issue right now is it's too easy to have a very good team. You can have the 8 and the 9-star teams basically out of 10. Basically, let's just say that. But you can't get that 10-star. You can't get that 10 team yet, which includes Mbappe and Ronaldo, like icons. Basically, is the point. It's
No, I don't. I can see why EA did that. Basically,
Mhm.
there's maybe people want to play the game more if they got better players early on. But I do wonder how that's gonna. They would probably have to make sure the promos are good later on in the game, so people play on for the
there.
full cycle.
Like you said with promos, and there's so many promos, and with promo packs that they put out, there was like 10 50K packs like a week and a half into the game. And I'm just like, what? Old FIFAs, you would not get like a 15K pack until like 2 months into the game, basically.
Honestly, I knew I wasn't going to enjoy the game when it was like week 1 into the game and I was playing mid Eusebio in Div Rivals. I'm like, how? I still have a basic gold team.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm still playing teams with Ronaldo and Neymar. And I'm like, the fact that people get this so quickly is kind of sure annoys me. It's like, oh, you're just jealous.
The occasional guy will just have a good pack luck, but then a lot of the time it's just like these.
It's so constant.
It's just easier to make coins.
Yeah.
Than get.
Well, not everyone spends money on the game. It's actually quite a small number. It's like 25%.
No, and that's what
but
I'm
they
saying.
spend a lot.
Yeah.
It's not easy to make coins. It's easy to just get those players because they're so cheap. That's kind of the point of it.
But yeah, I don't really have too many opinions. Like, I don't have really any negative opinions on FIFA this year, though. Like, personally, I think the game is fine. I think obviously some problems. Like, I think career mode it was actually pretty lazy.
Yeah.
Outside of the creative club, which
is still not even
that great,
honestly.
like the career mode, outside of some graphics, like some newsletter items and some stadium stuff, it's basically the same as FIFA 21.
It's just imagine what they could do in career mode if they put the same amount of effort in as they do Ultimate Team.
Well, of course, there's
Career
no
mode
money in
would
it.
be
And they don't
insane.
give a shit, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, more people play Ultimate Team, and like, look, people complain like, oh, the popularity of the game is going down when they look at like the Twitch or YouTube numbers, but like it's actually still like the same, if not higher.
Yeah. I know you didn't play FIFA before 12, but do you remember the other FIFAs when you had to buy Ultimate Team?
I never bought it. I played FIFA 11 Ultimate Team. I never bought it in FIFA 10 though.
Yeah, I remember
wild.
seeing that. It was just like, geez, you had to actually like buy it. So
I
it's
saw-
like, you
Yeah,
know,
it was-
buy the
it
game,
was a little
then you could
DLC.
buy Ultimate Team. which is
I
DLC,
saw a
so-
clip on TikTok today where somebody showed an old clip from Xbox 360 days when you buy a pack and says pack downloaded. I'm like, oh my god. The fact that there's kids who are opening packs now and weren't even born when that was a thing. That's just,
I mean, like people playing FIFA that weren't born when that happened.
yeah, like during the Xbox 360 days and stuff. Like,
I guess there's 10.
I saw a funny comment from
maybe.
someone on Twitter. Is like, I'm raging at someone who has 2009 in their name. What has my life become?
Raging at a 12-year-old, and that's the thing. These
Yeah.
these kids are just like they're crazy.
They're good.
They're crazy. They're like growing up in a, and it's going back to my point earlier. It's a lot of kids are just growing up in a day where it's just all technology and everything, and they just like
Yeah.
like gaming reflexes. Just
Wow.
like Jesus.
Just grabs onto it pretty quick there. And there's so many tutorials on YouTube that you can
Exactly.
learn
Yeah.
from.
Liam.
Yeah, Liam has no excuse. Liam is just bad.
Liam has good reflexes too. It's funny.
Does he?
He actually has good reflexes. Yes,
Oh, he doesn't have good.
not good gaming reflexes. That's
No.
a different story. But yeah.
But I don't know, man. This FIFA feels weird now.
I've
It's-
enjoyed this FIFA.
Yeah,
I
if
haven't
you're- if
like I
you're-
haven't played in 2 weeks.
If you're
but,
good at the game, you're gonna enjoy it. If you're like me, who can't really adapt to it, it's fucking garbage.
but like this is the most FIFA I've played in the past
Yeah,
4 years as well.
I play a
I'm
few
kinda
games a
similar
day,
to
but
you.
like my team is still pretty mid compared to some of the people I play. I mean, except for yesterday, I played a guy with a Nigerian team. That was cool. He was up 2-0 against me. I'm like, not today. So
anything else we want to?
Do you have any-
What?
Do you have anything to bring up, Greg?
Well, it was funny because at the beginning of this podcast, I'm just kind of like looking around. I was kind of like doing this because we're all just in a black like hoodie /
Yeah.
sweater. It just looks funny on the camera.
It's kind of like I'm kind of like
And then with like the dark couch, we're all just kind of like we just have a white face just kind of popping out, and I just found that pretty funny. I was just
yeah, you're not wrong. Like it looks like I have just a head.
mhm.
yeah,
But do you have any topics you want to bring up?
not really. I don't really.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, I have something.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
So, Woz, you remember Wednesday?
Oh, this
Oh,
is you
Lord.
know what, Lucas? Thank you. You know what now?
Oh, I was okay.
This has to be brought up.
Okay.
Okay, so we're on the same football team, of course.
Sunday league
Sunday league
team
type
or
thing. Yeah.
men's league.
First time playing in like a year and a half with these guys.
Okay, just hurry up with it.
We win our game. Very nice. 2 goals, 1 assist by me. Very nice.
Well done, Lucas.
But then yeah, I drove Woz to the game, which is all good. He points out a car in front of me, and he's like, "Oh, I know this person." Okay, cool. We go into prepare the game. The game happens. The game's won. We leave. Woz leaves the dressing room pretty early. I'm there talking to Liam. I walk out with Liam. And I go to Woz. He's with his lady friend, and I'm like, I don't know what I said, but he's like, "Oh, we're leaving already," and I'm like, yeah, I'm in my head. I'm like, no, Woz, I'm gonna stay here for 10 minutes, or 20 minutes. And so I go to Liam and just talk to him and Greg. Liam makes fun of Greg in front of his mom.
Yeah.
yeah,
But anyway, we leave.
Liam was just angry because I was on the way to the Mexico game. He was just being a dickhead.
Just Liam. But yeah, we leave the game. Walk out. I'm talking to Greg a little. Woz is behind me. We go to our cars. I'm at this point. I'm assuming I'm driving Woz home.
See, I think I know more of the situation at this point because I'm getting into my vehicle. Lucas, I'm putting all my stuff into my vehicle. Lucas is kind of like entering his vehicle. Woz is just walking by, walks right in between us, and I'm just kind of like I'm watching like Lucas like still getting into his car, and I'm just kind of going. I'm like back and forth between Woz and Lucas as Woz is walking with his friend, and he just keeps walking and just keeps walking. I'm just like, what is going on? And Lucas is like in his car at this point, and it was so funny because Lucas just opens his car while he's sitting in the driver's seat, opens the door, and just looks behind and just like stares at me, and I just burst out laughing. I was just like, honestly, I don't know what's going on.
And then I'm there in the car. I'm like waiting 5 minutes. I know. I turn on a YouTube video, listen. I'm like, okay, maybe he's just saying goodbye, things like that. I know. I'm a patient guy. But 5 minutes comes by. I text Woz. I'm like, how much longer? ? And he's like, oh, I went with her. My bad. And then I text him back, bro. And then he's like, shit, I thought I'd said I'd go with her. Miscommunication. And in my head, I'm like, it's not miscommunication.
I thought,
you just didn't communicate.
I thought when you came up to us after the game, I thought I said to you, oh, I'll just go with her. So I get, yeah, well, that's my fault. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
It was a funny situation that was just
so.
like, what just happened?
Yeah, it's like,
it had to be brought up.
I'm
sorry.
My bad.
At
least he wasn't waiting like half an
No.
hour. Imagine if you were waiting like half an hour. And
I don't have that. I have a lot of patience, but I do want to go home.
Yeah,
At
but
least your car was able to heat up, right?
And they say bros before hoes, but
No. Yeah.
Hey, you didn't have to drive Woz home.
Yeah, that was nice actually. I actually got to go home.
So the new Pokemon game's out, right?
Did it come out? Did you get it?
Not yet. I'm thinking of getting it. I'm not sure yet. I kind of want to. That's.
I've always been a big Pokemon fan, and I gotta say, it's not really interesting me.
Oh wow.
I don't know.
I think I'm more excited for the game that's coming out like the next year, Arceus.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know,
one
that's
I'd be more
wild.
interested in.
Yeah, with the new Pokemon game, I don't have a Switch right now. But I do like the fourth generation. I never played Diamond and Pearl. I played Platinum, which
when I was
has a lot of
younger,
differences.
Diamond, I played a lot of Diamond.
But yeah, I mean, I don't mind how it looks compared to other people, but like, and apparently, the game can be modded pretty easily. So there's a lot of people who are trying to mod it and stuff. So, there could be some cool things you see. I already saw a guy, Point Crow on Twitch. He already had a mod where, every time his Pokemon evolved, his next Pokemon will be random.
Oh, that's cool.
So it evolves into a random Pokemon.
Interesting.
But I mean, I'm sure there's people going to mod the game and make it look better than it already does. But
I'm always the kind. So I saw one thing of it, then the thing that turned me off instantly.
Yeah. Just speaking of Pokemon, use code 90minute. Use code 90minute on G Fuel, especially Shiny Splash is based off a Pokemon streamer. I think AK Drive is his name. A Drive. So shout out to him. Shiny Splash is his G Fuel flavor. We have it right here. Use code 90minute for I think 30% off once this is dropped, but whatever.
Yeah. What I was saying there is the first thing that I saw about it, and like that just turned me off. You can't turn off the XP share. I don't think you can turn it off.
Really?
And that was just like, as soon as I saw that, I was just like,
it's kind of weird. What do you mean?
It wasn't even like that in the old.
What do you mean you can't turn off the XP share? I thought you
it's just like a joint. So like if one Pokemon battles, your entire team will get XP.
Oh, that's stupid.
I just don't like that.
So I mean, mods would fix that.
Yeah,
but
so it says they're on the topic of video games in that sense. Like I mentioned to Greg, I wish they had a hard mode for Pokemon games, a little bit more challenging for people like him.
Yeah.
At the same time, with FIFA, I had this idea with Ultimate Team where they would make like a hardcore Ultimate Team mode where there's no FIFA points and you actually have to grind and build your team. I think that would be awesome. Obviously, EA would not do that. They would probably be like, why would we waste resources on something that's not going to make us money? But I don't know. I think a hardcore Ultimate Team mode would be cool without
they won't ever do that.
No, but
that'd be an interesting. Yeah. I never thought of it like that. Actually, just have like it's like another mode where if you used FIFA points, you can't.
It's basically they don't allow you to use FIFA points in that like specific mode, and maybe like it's just like regular Ultimate Team with seasons in a Gold Cup.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, but of course that's never gonna happen. Especially because people would just not play it. They'd just play the other mode where they can use better players
I
quicker.
get that. That's the thing, right? It's like, I was kind of thinking like, in World of Warcraft, they did WoW Classic because people wanted that, but who knows? Yeah.
But also, games that came out. Mario Superstars. Mario Party Superstars, I think it's called.
I've heard.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
And usually Nintendo games have crap online. one apparently is good online. They have all the old mini games from the old party parties.
My brother was playing. My friend was playing it. So yeah, they have it. They said it's awesome. So I'm looking forward to playing it.
I played a few new games. I got Battlefield, and that one's kind of been a little underwhelming for me. I expected more of that.
Did you hear about GTA?
What about it?
Disaster.
No, I didn't hear the
deluxe, the remake. They remade San Andreas, Vice City, and something else. It's a disaster.
Really?
Well, first off, on the PC version, you weren't able to launch it on release date because they apparently accidentally didn't get rid of some of the code that they can't use in the game.
Jesus.
Apparently, the graphics are trash.
Yeah, apparently it's not even that like defined. It's just
apparently
kind of
just the graphics look worse than the old versions.
Oh God.
And like the gameplay a lot of it looks crap.
Yeah.
And like the Metacritic user score is 0.6.
Well, this sounds like reminds me of Cyberpunk. Literally. That game was so hyped for 7 or 8 years or something, and it just was.
Pretty sure I played like 10 minutes of that game.
It was just shit.
Yeah.
Well, I heard it was a good game. It's just it had so many issues at the start, right?
Which is just
that
turned me off.
Killed it.
Yeah, it did.
And GTA, it might be even worse.
Yeah.
Like it's 0.
Yeah, you can't even launch the game. That sounds awful.
I think you can launch it now, but like the game is just.
It's an $80 game.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see. I saw in the Xbox store. It's $80, and I'm like.
And they got rid of the older versions from the stores. So you can't play those. You can't play the mods either.
Ridiculous.
They told them to shut down the mods.
Oh, Jesus.
So like
when they redo games and this shit like that, it's just like holy.
Yeah, that's the thing with remasters nowadays. That they always tend to screw something up.
It's like you like remasters, but it's also just
like I didn't mind it when they remastered COD 4. Like those, that was fine by me. A lot of people had issues, but I enjoyed it.
But like Rockstar, like they've literally just been on GTA 5 making all the money from that game.
Yeah, essentially, that's what they've done. And I mean, GTA 6 should be coming out in the next couple of years. We don't know when.
But like,
if you're done with that, have you seen Bethesda and Skyrim? They've remastered Skyrim like 5 times in the last 10 years.
It's just no one can make a new game.
And they're doing the same thing with GTA. They've made 3 different versions.
We were in high school when it came out.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
They had like the 360 version, and then they brought out the PC version, and then the Xbox One version, and now they're coming out with the Xbox Series like PlayStation 5 version.
Yeah.
Like, what the bro?
It doesn't stop. Yeah, like you said with Skyrim, literally like 360.
Every year there's
Xbox
something
One.
It's like HD edition, 4K edition.
And then they just had to launch it on the Switch. They had to launch it on PC. They had to launch it on just everything.
What's with all these just former good companies being trashed now?
Yeah.
Like it sucks. Like that's like how gaming is going. A lot of like gotcha games as well are being really popular as well, which scams.
Well, what annoys me about Skyrim is that a couple of years ago, I think 2019, they kind of unveiled a little trailer for Elder Scrolls 6. And since then, we've seen nothing, and they've just been remastering Skyrim, which is Elder Scrolls 5, and I just want Elder Scrolls 6. I'm like,
yep,
where is it? Yeah.
Yeah, we might sound like boomers, but
yeah.
I mean, like, really, like, just have some creativity. Like,
yeah, it just seems like new games just aren't it.
I mean, there's obviously good games, great games, but incredible games.
See, that's the thing. Is it new games aren't it, or is it we're just getting older, so we're more picky and just not into it as much? Like, is it just that?
I think the older games that were great during our time in high school and things like that.
I think me and Woz can, like, we talk about COD and Halo. Like, holy.
Well, I mean,
Halo Infinite was good.
Yeah,
I haven't.
You can play the beta for free right now. It's actually not bad.
Interesting. But yeah, no, I like Halo 3 and Halo 2.
Oh yeah, those are awesome. Halo Reach was pretty decent as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. Is.
But yeah, like those games, like those are like the type of games you guys played and you have great memories of.
Yeah.
And now that they don't feel the same later on, or they're not like producing something better now, maybe you guys are feeling that way because of that.
And also there's World of Warcraft. That game went to shit for me.
Like, I'm sure there's other companies making great games.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see it and don't know about it.
Like the Game of the Year awards, there's like apparently some great games there, but they're not as recognizable because they're not like the marquee names. They're not like from these AAA studios.
Yeah. Speaking of like memorable moments, like, is there like is there any possibility of us going on to like saved replays on old FIFAs and like seeing if we have any of those? Because do you remember me scoring? It was at your house. It was me versus Matt, and I scored like a 40-yard free kick with Robin van Persie in like FIFA 13.
You would need that Xbox's hard drive.
Yeah.
So I don't remember if it's saved on the hard drive or if it was saved on the website. If it's saved on the website, no shot.
Yeah.
FIFA gets rid of those old things from those FIFA.
How
early
sick
FIFA
would that
games.
be, just going over like all those, if there's any possibility? Because I know what you're saying, like the disc and then the hard drive for it, it's like different
Well,
stories.
you know what's
but
funny?
I don't have
You're
a
talking about that. Like
360
FIFA used to have a creative club. Do you remember like they had that little web app that you can go and create players? That was cool. Like I don't know what happened, but
It's just Kermo just went down.
Yeah,
the
like
shitter.
people didn't use that as much from EA's perspective,
Yeah.
so it wasn't worth keeping the costs of maintaining it.
Yeah.
And they thought, oh, we might as well not spend money on this. We might as well just focus more on Ultimate Team.
yeah.
And yeah, it's not ideal, but it is what it is.
I think that'd be just that'd be a great video. Is like going over all those old FIFA like.
I kind of
instant replays that
want
we
to
have.
do that because I do on my Xbox 360. I want to look at some of my old save files because I had some wild career modes.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be an interesting video. But
I'll try to pull up that if I can over the week.
good TikToks too.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's everything though for today. Unless Woz, you want to bring anything else up?
No, I'm okay. That's fine.
Yeah, I think we had a good
It was,
discussion.
honestly, I very much enjoyed this podcast. Hopefully, you two did. It was some good topics, especially the Canada topics at the beginning, or national break. Of course, club football is back when we are recording this. When it comes out, I think the weekend will be over. So,
Yeah.
those games will already happen.
So we're gonna try to be live on Twitch and things like that.
Yeah, we'll try. We've been lacking on the Twitch, but we're gonna try and get back onto that a little bit more consistently.
I'll try to get everything more consistent.
Of course, if you have made it this far, we very much appreciate it. It's, I'm not sure how long we've been.
I'm
going,
not
but it's
excited
been-
to go back to club football. Means I have to deal with that shit club. United.
You guys play tomorrow, or you play
They
Sunday?
play Watford against.
Did they play tomorrow or
I'm
something?
pretty sure they play tomorrow, but I can double
It
check.
might just be one of the 8 a.m. games.
Anyways,
Anyways, if you haven't made it this far, we very much appreciate it. If you listening on audio apps or watching the YouTube video, thank you so much. Make sure to like, comment if you are here, of course, and subscribe, like Woz said earlier. And from the three of us and the other three who aren't here, thanks for being here, and see you later. Bye-bye.